for attendance, please.
Commissioner Bowles is absent. Commissioner Thomas.
Here.
Commissioner Pruitt.
Here.
Commissioner Witt.
Here.
Mayor Staten.
Here, today we've got just a brief discussion on Corporate Park, and I will turn it over to Tom Williams to go over what we need to discuss.
Yes, thank you. You received a memo from me and a copy of a drawing for this. You're sitting as the Development Committee for Corporate Park for this meeting. It's required by the the protected covenants for the subdivision, and what we're presenting to you today is signing for the new our new Systems Operations Center that we're doing in the old Morris Tool and Plastic Building. So what this drawing shows is our logo on the gable end of the building, and then as you come down the street, you'll see above the office area our name spelled out. It's kind of small here, but it's Henderson Water Utility. It's literally the lower part of our logo. So the logo sign on the front will be backlit, and the blue and green stripes will be lit also. Kind of makes our logo pop out on the front of the building. And then really from the side, you see more of the side of the buildings coming down the street, so that's why we chose to put our name on the side. So happy to answer any questions. It's very much in keeping with the requirements in the protected covenants. Looks like the signing, a little like the signing on the home oil and gas building across the street from us.
All right, and as Tom said, we are the Development Committee for all the industrial parks. City Commission is the same. Are there any questions or concerns or suggestions or any of that for Tom? All right, we need a motion to approve.
So moved.
We have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Bowles.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Pruitt.
Aye.
Commissioner Witt.
Aye.
Mayor Staten.
Aye. And before we adjourn, I did skip one step. We have a set of minutes from the last special called meeting from April 13, 2021. Do we have a motion to accept those minutes?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, and roll call, please.
Commissioner Bowles.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Pruitt.
Aye.
Commissioner Witt.
Abstain.
Mayor Staten.
Aye. If,
I would just invite all of you, if you have time, to stop by out there, or if you want a guided tour, give me a call. We're probably about 60% done with our project. It's going to work out really well for us. Our idea is to put all of our field administrative staff in one building, one place together. We've run into some delays on electrical equipment that are probably going to keep us from moving into the building until probably October of this year. So we're probably going to be done pretty much, except for the electrical stuff, in April or May, and the building may sit there for a while because of delays in the supply chain right now. But I'd be happy to take any of you out and take a look at what we've done. We're really proud of it. We've got a good structure there that we bought for a very good price, and we're bringing a project in on budget, on time, and I hate to say this, quite a bit cheaper than Hempelstone.
There you go.
Yeah, those are two words in the environment that we're in now, on budget and on time, that you can't really say for a whole lot of projects that are going on for delays or extra cost or anything else. So
We're really
I know
proud.
I'd like to
We're really
get out.
proud of this. It's going to be a good facility for us.
I'd like to get out there and take a look at it sometime
Anytime,
in the
give me a
distant
call.
future. Good deal. Any other questions or business before this particular body and this particular meeting?
Do we have any plans for the old building?
We are going to do an RFP for our property that we own over on Alvasia Street. We own the main building, then there is a training room and automation office that kind of sits behind Roger Brown's development there on 2nd Street.
Okay.
Then we also own a vacant lot that's on 3rd Street that we use as a parking lot. So we're going to do sometime later in the year do an RFP and try to sell that, take proposals on it. There's a very limited number of ways that we can get rid of property, either take sealed bids or do an RFP, or we can donate it for economic development if we can find somebody that will create some jobs there. So we thought an RFP is the best way to dispose of it. Our admin building down at Fifth and Water, we're going to hang on to because it's next to the water plant, and there's a possibility we could use that property sometime for a water plant expansion in the future. We're really looking for somebody that, after the first of next year, would be looking for a long-term lease for a building like that. Either another government agency or somebody that would be great for a doctor's insurance office, anything like that.
That's a good location as well.
We do want to hold on to it, though, so probably a 2 to 5 year lease with the option to get out of it.
But you also own the lot beside it as well, right?
We do. We own up to that next house on the Fifth Street side, so we're going to hang on to all that. We've had some interest in it. As soon as we reacquired that lot next to the admin building, we started getting calls from people wanting to know if it was for sale for housing.
Yeah, good location.
It is.
Across the street from the distillery.
Yep,
It's even better.
that's right. Any other questions or comments? All right, seeing none, I would like to entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor, aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned till 3 o'clock. Thank you. I'd like to thank you all for attending and welcome you all to the regularly called City Commission meeting for Tuesday, February the 28th. If you would, please stand with me and for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Can we have a call for attendance, please?
Commissioner Vowles?
Here.
Commissioner Thomas?
Here.
Commissioner Pruitt?
Here.
Commissioner Witt?
Here.
Mayor Staten?
Here. We have a special guest who's joined us today, Mr. Alex Cottle. If you would, please come up to the podium. Alex has the distinction of being the first and only field representative for a governor of Kentucky who is also from Henderson, Kentucky. And to even stretch beyond that, he's the only field rep for a governor from the Grad region ever, if I understand that properly.
Yeah.
We all know you, but I don't know if we know you like that, Alex. And thank you for your hard work, and thank you for joining us. And the floor is yours, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. I won't take up too much of your time. Appreciate the kind introduction. Just wanted to give you all a couple quick updates from our office. Two big things happening next week. I hope you have on your calendar. On Monday, the 6th at 5:30 p.m. at the Public Library. We're partnering with GRAD. They're conducting a newly elected official training, so I hope you all can come to that. If you're new or returning, there should be a lot of good information. And normally they don't come out to the community, so it's great that they are with Joanna Shake and all of her folks. So we'll share more in depth about DLG's funding programs and things like that then. And then next Wednesday, March 8th, Governor Andy Beshear is coming back to Henderson. So we're very excited to host him at 4:30 p.m. at Gallery 101 at the Depot on Water Street. He'll be giving out several checks to worthy nonprofits in our community, totaling over $1.5 million from the Team Kentucky Nonprofit Assistance Fund, which was a bipartisan effort through our General Assembly and legislators and the governor. So hope you all can come out to that 4:30 next Wednesday as well.
Well, we sure appreciate our partnership with the state. The state has been to Henderson on a number of occasions. The governor and yourself have been here on behalf of the governor on a number of occasions over the last few years. We've had a lot to celebrate,
Yes,
and a
sir.
lot of those celebrations would not have happened without your help, and so we certainly appreciate that
Thank you.
partnership.
It's a team effort, so and we're happy to help with anything we ever can. So please
Well,
call me
Alex,
anytime.
I want to thank you for when I called you, reaching out to the governor, getting this here real quick for me like that. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you. All right.
All right. Thank you,
Mayor.
sir.
Take care.
Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
Alex.
All right, next up, we have a group of people who would like to speak with us more about Anthony Brooks Park. You are welcome to join us at the podium, sir.
Good afternoon,
Good afternoon.
Mayor, City Commissioners, City Clerk, City Attorney, other officials. I'm Adrian Brooks. I'm the son of Reverend Dr. Anthony Brooks, who the park is named after. It's been a while since I've been up here, and the faces have all changed. Everybody's new up here, but that's all right. The city continues to look beautiful, and you are to be commended for
Thanks,
the
sir.
developments that are going on around the city. And so we recently were called initially by Reverend Gayla Gilbert, who is a member of 7th Street. As a matter of fact, I might go on record, I'm still a member of 7th Street. I've only had one church, and that's it, and I've kept my membership there, and my wife has as well. And so I'm still quite connected to this wonderful city that we were blessed to be born in and reared in, and spent 10 years pastoring as well over here. And so we've come to encourage the City Commission and the mayor to continue to improve that particular area over there by Anthony Brooks Park, in particular the Anthony Brooks Park. I think that there's been some wonderful work done at John F. Kennedy. I had the opportunity to tour it recently, and it's had some upgrades and things, and so it's changed a whole lot since the day when we used to dance in the center. Commissioner Robert, we dance over there, and we thought we were doing something back then. But the city acknowledged the contributions that Dad made. Dr. Anthony Brooks, as you well know, is a native and then served here for over 50 years as pastor of 7th Street Baptist Church. He marched with King. We have pictures. You know, a lot of people say they march with King, but we have pictures. He marched with King in both Frankfurt and in Louisville, and he served as the vice president of the NAACP state chapter during the 60s in particular. Then went on, served in Evansville as well during the 70s and brought Benjamin Hooks and others to our city. We also have pictures of him being arrested at one of the local restaurants, trying to integrate this food establishment. And so there are pictures of, you know, we have those pictures as well. And then he was an advocate for education, of course. There are many in our community they've come through here, gone on, did great and wonderful things, but it is because of his drive in terms of development of people and education. Dad was an advocate of that. And so as a result of that, there are kids all over this country who will tell you that I am where I am because of the influence of Reverend Dr. Anthony Brooks. He fought for open housing in this area as well. And we're so proud that Sister Bobby Sue Jarrett is the executive director of the Henderson Housing Authority, and I think all of us know the great work that she has done.
Absolutely.
In terms of providing affordable housing. We are envious of her in many ways across the bridge, so because I do housing development, I'm always trying to bend her ear and get ideas, and then we'll tell them that we got them down south somewhere. But I've come to encourage you to continue to improve that park. The equipment has been in the park for a number of years. I think Commissioner Pruitt had also leveled some concerns about that, and perhaps others. And we want to thank you for that. I know you've got a strategic committee that you've put together looking at that. And we certainly hope that what happens is that they will literally look at perhaps some of the improvements that you might make in the interim and then say, why don't we even expand it even more to facilitate some additional development. So I know that there had been some talk about new playground equipment, and there was also a little splash park, and also some restrooms. I think that would be a wonderful addition to the park. I've talked with both Reverend Gala and Sister Bobby Sue and others about perhaps having some annual affair where we draw more attention to the park and to the rich heritage that exists right there. You know, again, this is a trip down memory lane and somewhat sentimental, but across the street there's the Austin Bell Gymnasium. You have the John F. Kennedy Center. You have the W.C. Handy Park. You have the marker acknowledging Douglas High School. All of that right there. And you know, and then you come down M.L. King Street. So there's a lot of rich history there. You've got Joe Winters, the Winters Development right there, housing development. You've got the Cabell Clinic right there. So with all of that rich history, we believe that in the future there should be some kind of annual festival or affair to also just bring greater awareness to that jewel of an area that exists right there. So it is I don't want to be too long. You know, we preachers, one of the worst things you can do is tell us, take your time, and you have the mic. So I will not abuse this privilege, but I just want to thank you for allowing us to come and to encourage you to continue to allocate resources, and whether those are you know, there's the ARPA resources, there's CARES money, there's the CDBG, and then I heard the gentleman from the governor's office who made a wonderful presentation. Perhaps he could even find some resources to add to the city coffers to help facilitate some additional development in that park. That is our hope and prayer, that we will remove the old equipment and bring in some new equipment, and then perhaps look at other ways in which we can enhance that recreational experience up there. Thank you so much for your time, and if there are any questions I can answer, I'd be happy to
Well, sir,
entertain it.
on behalf of the commission, I wanted to thank you, first of all, for coming I did want to speak a little bit about Commissioner Pruitt for his credit and to his credit for about 6 months to a year. He has talked about Anthony Brooks Park.
Good.
He's put it on our radar. He is
Thank you, sir.
at our goal-setting work session in January. He mentioned one of the things that he wanted to have happen is to make some improvements at Anthony Brooks Park. You are correct that we do have an inner-city improvement plan.
Yes.
Commissioner Pruitt is actually on the beautification committee. That is the exact committee that would be looking at this particular park. And Commissioner Pruitt, you want to take that and kind of give them an idea where we're at
First, I
on
want to
that?
thank, I agree, Reverend, we miss you over here. We wish you were still here. You're a great asset to Evansville.
Thank you.
But we miss you here. I want to introduce you guys that came from 7th Street. Could you stand up and introduce yourself?
Oh, there's some more. And
There's
there's the
Reverend.
pastor.
Yeah.
I'm Ricky T. I'm the current pastor of 7th Street Missionary Baptist Church. I am a grandson in the ministry of Dr. Anthony M. Brooks.
And he was my arch enemy when we coached against each other basketball. For the two juniors, middle schools. Go ahead, everybody else.
My name is Mary Rapier. I'm a member of 7th Street Baptist Church.
Bobby Jarrett, member of 7th Street. Charles Pruitt, member, chairman of Deacon Board, 7th Street Baptist Church.
Antonia White, a member of 7th Street Baptist Church.
And I'm Reverend Gayla Gilbert. I'm one of the associate ministers on staff at 7th Street Baptist Church. I came up under Dr. Brooks. He was my pastor my whole life.
Phyllis Harris, member of 7th Street Baptist Church.
Thank y'all. And
right.
I am on the Beautification and Special Projects Committee, and I'm going to invite, a formal invite to you, Reverend Gayla Gilbert, to join our committee. And the next meeting is at JFK at 3:30, Holly?
Tomorrow.
At 3:30, and we would love to have you join us.
It's March the 2nd, isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah. Thursday
Yeah, Thursday.
Oh, we said tomorrow, but it's actually
Yeah,
Thursday. That's right.
And that way, what we're doing, and Reverend, you're so right, there's so much history in that area. And things that we need to celebrate, not just once every blue moon, but annually. So those ideas we will take in consideration. I think that is a great idea for us. A lot going on in that area. We can, like I said, W.C. Andy Poole. We lost Douglas School, Albert Street. There ought to be a celebration for those whose shoulders we're still standing on. And I think we can make that happen. So don't forget Caleb, Thursday, 3:30, JFK.
And again, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I think it's fitting that we would have this discussion in February, which is a month in which we acknowledge the contributions of African Americans to the fabric of our communities and our country. And so I'm glad we got here on the last day of a wonderful month.
Yes, sir.
So God
Yes,
bless
sir.
you, and may He keep you in His care.
Thank
Thank
you.
y'all.
Thank you very much. I wanted to ask, and I'm sorry that I don't know this, the answer to this question, but is there anything at the park that celebrates Dr. Brooks and his accomplishments and what he's, any kind of displays or anything like that?
Nothing.
As we're talking about equipment and things like that, we might want to also look at a way that we can acknowledge his contributions to local and to society in general.
I've got it written down.
Awesome. Yeah. I
We
think
may
that'd be a
get
good
your
idea.
assistance in preparing a draft of what it would look like.
Great. Well, thank you all so much for coming to see us today. We appreciate it.
And you're welcome to stay. You don't have to leave. There's a lot going on, but I know some of y'all busy, but you're welcome.
Thank you again for having us.
All right. Thank
Y'all
you
have a
all
blessed day.
very much. All right, we have a consent agenda. Marie, can you read us the consent agenda, please?
Consent agenda consists of the February 28th, 2023 minutes. I'm sorry. I need new glasses. I'm sorry.
We got a
The
February 28th.
consent agenda consists of the February 14th, 2023 regular meeting minutes, the February 15th, 2023 called work session and inter-city improvement plan orientation. Resolution number 15-23, resolution authorizing submittal of grant application to the Kentucky 911 Services Board for funds in the amount of $170,921 with a 10% required match to be used for the purchase of Intrado Viper system to replace the current 911 customer premise equipment provider, accepting grant if awarded and authorizing mayor to execute all necessary documents. Resolution number 16-23, resolution authorizing mayor to execute all subdivision and special district settlement participation forms for benefits opioid pursuant to agreements with the Allergan settlement, the CVS settlement, the Teva settlement, the Walgreens settlement, and the Walmart settlement. Resolution number 17-23, resolution designating the finance director as agent for the city of Henderson for the purpose of obtaining certain federal financial assistance funds under the Disaster Relief Act, DR 4497. Resolution number 18-23, resolution acknowledging list of city-maintained roadways and alleyways. Municipal Order 08-23, municipal order awarding bid for purchase of 78 linear foot, 12 by 4 foot reinforced box culvert and 2 12 by 4 foot reinforced concrete box culvert head walls for the Barrett Boulevard Extension Project to Encore Precast LLC of 7 Mile, Ohio in the amount of $97,712. And Municipal Order 09-23, municipal order awarding bid for purchase of Trumbull Forensics X7 scanning system for the police department to Seiler Instrument and Manufacturing Company of St. Louis, Missouri in the amount of $53,587.25.
All right, do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Pruitt, second by Commissioner Bowles. Any questions or comments concerning anything on the consent agenda? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Bowles?
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas?
Aye.
Commissioner Pruitt?
Aye.
Commissioner Witt?
Aye.
Mayor Staten?
Aye. Next up, I believe we have a municipal order authorizing emergency repairs.
Municipal Order number 10-23, municipal order authorizing emergency repairs to the roof of the Public Safety Building at 1990 Barrett Court in the amount of $44,700.
All right, do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Do we have any questions or comments?
Only comment I'll make, Mayor, we took official bids to replace the roof at the Peabody Building, and it's also known as the HPD Planning and Codes Building. The bids came in well above the budgeted amount for the repairs, so we went ahead and made a decision to make the emergency repairs that will get us by until we can fund a full replacement in the future.
Thank you, sir. Any questions, comments? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Bowles?
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas?
Aye.
Commissioner Pruitt?
Aye.
Commissioner Witt?
Aye.
Mayor Staten?
Aye. Next up, we have a resolution for bond reimbursement.
Resolution number 19-23, resolution declaring the city's intent to reimburse itself for the cost of capital expenditures from the proceeds of tax-exempt obligations.
Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Any questions, comments, suggestions? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Bowles?
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas?
Aye.
Commissioner Pruitt?
Aye.
Commissioner Witt?
Aye.
Mayor Staten?
Aye. And before we move on to the city manager's report, I wanted to ask, is there anyone in the audience who has any business to bring before the city commission that was not on the agenda? Hearing none, we'll move on to the city manager's report.
I would ask Connie Galloway, our HR director, to come before the commission to give an update on their new application process. I'd also like to acknowledge Carla, who has helped with this project. It's been a year-plus long project to get into service, but I'll turn it over to the two of you and Also like to thank our IT department with assisting with this process.
You're so right, and thank you so much, Buzzy. It has been a collaboration between the number of departments as well as our vendor, NeoGov. And I want to also commend Carla. She carried the mammoth amount of it. She did this mainly. As you know, as Buzzy said, it's been about a 12-month process to get all of this rolled out. We went live January 27th, and so it's still a work in progress of us making use of all of the options that we have available. But we're pleased to announce that in just a month's time, we're able to track that since January 27th through today, that there have been over 10,600 views of the various opportunities here at the City of Henderson, job opportunities. And we think that's incredible. We didn't have an option or ability to determine how many views with our previous system that we had. But it's encouraging that we know that at least that many people in that short of a time have looked at opportunities within our organization, which have hopefully also indirectly might draw people to go, what other opportunities are in the City of Henderson, even if it's not government jobs? We have also been able to track in that 4-week period. We have 27 postings at the moment, and we've received 96 applications in that 1 month time. Now, just for comparison, January of 21, for the whole month of January, we had 25 applications. From January 22, excuse me. Yeah, from the previous year. So, of course, there may have been a different number of applications or postings that we may have had. There's a lot of different variables, but we're hopeful that this is going to be an example of increased viewing and opportunities for people to draw. Is there anything you want to comment about?
The only thing I would say, like I said, is I appreciate all the departments working and being patient with us to get this going. It was more of a undertaking than we had originally understood. But we're there now, and from what I'm understanding, doing interviews with the applications that have come in for the different departments, I try to include in the questioning now about what was their experience like using the new application process. And I've only heard positive feedback from that, including some IT professionals who have applied for an opening that we have, and so someone who would really know if an application and a website is user friendly. He indicated that it was, and he actually had applied for a position with us with the paper copy, so he indicated how much easier and faster the process was. So, like Connie said, we're working toward using a lot of the features that it has. We just wanted to get it live, and everything is electronic now, even though I'm still keeping paper copies for now until I feel more comfortable with that I know how to use the system and I'm not going to lose someone's application. But we look forward to the ease with that this software program will help with applications. So.
And from our applicant standpoint, we're very encouraged that once the person is registered, so to speak, or enrolled in NeoGov's platform, they don't have to reapply, or they don't have to re-enter all of their data unless they have an update, a new address or a new job. So they can apply for position A, and then they see 2 weeks from now, oh, position B is, and they can just go in and make just a few clicks, apply for that. So we're hoping everything that we're doing is making it as convenient and enticing for candidates to apply.
One other thing is that with the program with NeoGov, our jobs are put on governmentjobs.com. In addition to our normal other ways to get the positions out there. So I think that has brought a lot of interest on the applications itself. It asks, where did you learn of this job opportunity? So those are stats that we can also track in the future. But I think the governmentjobs.com is reaching out beyond our area. We've gotten applications from people interested in firefighter from California, from different parts of the country that probably wouldn't have seen us otherwise. So I think it's reaching out further than just our local area.
Do you have any questions?
No, but thank you for all of your work. I know it's a tough environment for recruitment and retention, and everything we can do to help fill those positions is.
And we appreciate y'all's support in allowing the city to make that purchase and to maintain that relationship with this organization for us to do that. So we appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you. Buzzy, we have anything else under city manager's report?
I do. Chief Foreman, do you mind to come to the podium, please? It's, I guess, with great sadness today to announce that Chief Scott Foreman has decided to retire at the end of March, and I wanted y'all to know that today. We met yesterday afternoon and discussed his retirement, and I thought it was more than appropriate to acknowledge today the years of service that he has provided to our city, to the fire department, and to the overall operation of the city of Henderson, and more specifically with the help toward 911. But Scott, we've had a great run. I'm sure you'll be here before you leave, but I just want to personally thank you for everything you've done. We've been through some tough times. We've been through challenging times with the pandemic. We've been through issues of trying to replace equipment, fire stations. We're here today to discuss that, but through all of this, Scott and I have managed to retain a very good relationship. We've had a few disagreements along the way, but at the end of the day, we still work well together, and I just want to say I appreciate the service that you have provided to us. So,
Thank you.
just want to let y'all know that.
Chief,
Next month you'll have 150% of me still. So
Chief, you want to say a few words to us?
I really don't have anything prepared. I mean, it's exciting and it's also sad at the same time. For 23 years, this is all I've known, and I've given 150% my entire career. And like I said, it's going to be 150% for the next 30 days too. So I'm so grateful that Henderson Fire Department hired me as a firefighter, and that they promoted me to the rank of chief ultimately. And it's been great, and I couldn't do it without you guys. You guys have been great for us. The men and women at the fire department, they're awesome. I mean, that's who makes the fire department the fire department. That's who makes the fire chief the fire chief. So, again, we have an awesome department. We have an awesome city. I brag anytime I go anywhere about the networking that the city does, and just the departments working together. And I've never seen it anywhere else, and most other cities can't say the same thing about their cities like we do ours, but we have a great relationship through all the departments, and that's pretty awesome. So I didn't really have anything prepared, so I'm sorry. This is hard. It's emotional for me. My stomach's been in knots. I didn't sleep last night, so just because of that. But I appreciate you guys, and I appreciate your kind words. So.
Well, you can't put a value on your service to this community, sir. I've had the fortune to know you for 6-7 years now, and the way that you advocate on behalf of the fire department and on behalf of their needs is felt, even if it's not realized by some of the firefighters. It's certainly felt by all the firefighters because they can't see exactly what goes on behind the scenes. And you're a true advocate for the fire department. You've got some big shoes that you're leaving, and you'll be missed. And so good luck with your future endeavors, sir. We
I appreciate
having you.
Thank you.
Chief, I want to thank you for the relationship we've had.
It's been awesome.
I can still remember the kids when y'all filled up the swimming pool, and the little kids they were calling people, and they were coming down there getting in the pool and looking at the fire trucks and all that. We're gonna miss you. I'm gonna get sad because I didn't know, but one thing about retirement, you're leaving this part, and there's a brighter future on this side. So enjoy whatever you do.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
So
Definitely appreciate you. Done a great job. It's Chief.
I've enjoyed working with you entire.
Yeah. I have a logistical question. So how much longer are you going to be with us?
I'll be here till the end of March.
Till the end of March.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll be here every day and committed just like I am now. So.
Buzzy, do you have a...
And I'll make sure I recommend somebody to temporarily fill my shoes to the city manager before the time. And I always work with my staff now to help prepare them for their next steps anyway, so we'll continue to do that too.
Do you have an idea of what the new fire chief search is going to look like? Or is that something that we need to talk about at a later time?
We'll probably discuss it at our next meeting, what the
Okay.
process will be, but as y'all are aware, it's been a long time since we had to hire a fire chief. And so in the past, we have put together a committee with various people. And what I would like to do is probably come back at our March meeting and advise and make a recommendation for that committee.
Gotcha. Thank you, sir. Well, like I said, we'll be you will certainly be missed, sir.
I'll miss all you guys.
My goodness.
I'll miss everybody in the
Job
city.
well done.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you.
That's all I have.
Yeah, I hope that's all you have.
They don't call Robert up here.
Yeah, I don't want any more news like
No.
that. That's a big loss for the city. But we do, again, we do wish you well, Chief. Have one board appointment for today. We have a need to, Rob Turney, who is a member of the Board of Zoning and Adjustments Board. His term is expiring, I believe, today. And we need to appoint, or actually a few days ago is when it officially expired. And we need to appoint someone to his position. I've reached out to a few members on the Board of Zoning and Adjustments. I've talked to a few people within the city. Also reached out to Rob Turney. He has expressed an interest to continue serving. His board gives him some glowing remarks as far as his service goes. So I would like to recommend that we renew Rob Turney for another term on the Board of Zoning and Adjustments. Do we have a motion to approve that?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Do we have any discussion or comments or suggestions? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Vowles?
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas?
Aye.
Commissioner Pruitt?
Aye.
Commissioner Whitt?
Aye.
Mayor Staten?
Aye. And moving on to the city commissioners' reports, Commissioner Vowles.
I don't have anything today.
Commissioner Thomas.
Nothing at this time.
Commissioner Pruitt.
I just want to say, I've got an article in the paper today, if you get a chance to read it. I found out that I was historical.
That just means you're old.
Yeah, this past week. Yeah, and it kind of goes with age, so I hope it doesn't correlate like that. But I'm really thankful that God has truly blessed me to be able to serve the community of Henderson as long as I have, and I just give God all the praise for it. And you guys are great because you're serving with historical city council.
It was,
Riding your coattails, maybe.
it was a very good article, by the way. I really enjoyed reading it. Commissioner Whitt.
I couldn't possibly follow that up, so pass.
And I'll just take this time to say I've got a few trips coming up that I want you all to be aware of, just in case you have any information that needs to go to those bodies. Tomorrow, I'll be leaving for Washington just for a day trip to talk to some people at the Department of Transportation with a whole group of people from Evansville, Henderson. I've got probably another trip to Frankfurt in the next 2 or 3 weeks to talk about a project